Hello everyone and welcome back. The day has finally come. Today we're gonna be finally flying Flysimware's Falcon 50. We're gonna start our new adventure, former North American adventure. Now with the Falcon will be America's adventure. The plan is to go all the way down to South America and come back. So either going down west and come back east, or cross west, cross eastbound the U.S. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we're going one way and coming back the other way. That's for sure. We won't be using same airports, other than of course Calgary at the end of everything. So yeah, my idea for the first flight of the Falcon was to talk about the systems and everything a little bit, but since it's getting, I started this, we're starting the stream too late, like much later than I was planning to. We won't have too much time. I don't want to arrive too late at Portland. By the way, that's where we're going. Leaving Calgary, our home here, to Portland, United States, Oregon. So yeah, so we can talk about it on another opportunity. We're still gonna go through a few things, but we're not gonna be going too much in depth on systems and everything, especially hydraulic system and electrical, especially the electrical panel, the electrical system. We're gonna be following all the procedures, but I won't have too much time to talk about them. I might not have too much time to. We'll see. But the point is, I really wanted to finally do a Falcon flight, stream one flight. This, by the way, it's only my third flight on the Falcon in like almost a month. So I'm not up to the standards that I usually like to be. But I think we're gonna be okay. We might blow an altitude or some, like we guys will see that we're not up to the speed of the airplane, but we're gonna get better. Still, well, we won't be doing anything dangerous, that's for sure. We won't be over speeding or nothing. It's not that. It's just that I have some calculations. It's a little bit more complex airplane as compared to the Learjet, the old Learjet. So there's a lot of stuff for us to keep an eye on. It's 3 engines against 2, and a lot of we're gonna be keeping an eye on fuel flow and N1 speed percentage, and yeah, so we really have to keep an eye on a few things. Right now, I'm just gonna take the overlay off. I hope I'm gonna take the map off for now, and just because you guys are gonna see, but just because of some overlays here, control panels for the plane, I don't want them to get obstructed by the movie map. And since we don't need the movie map right now, it's there's no point. There's some traffic here in Calgary. We can see 2 WestJets on the terminal there. By the way, we moved since we have a little bit of a more, the Falcon is a little bit more expensive than and requires a little bit of more care than the Learjet. We moved. We signed an agreement with Millionaire. I don't know if you're aware of Millionaire is an FBO spread all over North America. As far as I know, it's only North America, but they might be in Europe. I'm not too sure. And they take care of like higher profile planes and customers. So yeah, that's their terminal there. You can see, and these are their 2 hangars just beside Sunwest. Sunwest is a Canadian company. You can see their hangar there up ahead. But yeah, so we're gonna be keeping our Falcon here. We're led at the care of Millionaire FBO. but we're gonna maintain our Learjet on our own hangar there, up down the line there. You can see right at the end there, right in front of us, right at the end, that blue building there, and so that's our you can see a part of a shell, the FBO, but anyways, that's where we're gonna still keep our Learjet. This is right at the end. We have runway 17 right here, the threshold. This is the approach and threshold for runway 17, right? So yeah, it's a very convenient location too. Anyways, let's get going. Just a real quick look here. This is the control panel, one of the pages, the control panel for Flysimware's aircraft. So we are starting with all systems off, so cold and dark. We have shocks. Shocks are applied. Door is locked, so we're gonna unlock the door and just open here. Oh, actually, it's the opposite. This is unlocked. Just to show just this first time the animation. So there you go. This is the animation. This is how it looks with the door open. The other thing that we can control here, we're gonna take all the covers. So we're gonna have the windshield cover off and the engines off. And we can also control the windows. So we're gonna be opening all the windows, and that's it. We're not gonna worry about pilots or nothing. I'm gonna close this. I don't wanna. I wanna close this right now and lock the door right away, even though it's not as realistic, but it really doesn't matter. And we're gonna take the shocks off, and I'm gonna show to you guys the payload manager. But before we look into that, we have to power up the aircraft and add the fuel that we're gonna need, and then we can talk real quick because I don't want to waste battery, and then we can talk about everything else. So this is the cockpit. We have the overhead, all the fuses. The overhead that we're gonna go real quick, not as in depth that I wanted to go, but we're gonna go real quick. So just want to make sure, yeah, parking brake intermediate, that's it. Just wanted to get that done right now. So we're gonna turn the batteries on real quick so we can refill. We can fill up the plane. Oh, keep clicking that. Okay, so just real quick, we have we should have 175, 150 for the passenger, 50 on the back here, then 50 and 175. Oh, 50 and 75, sorry. Okay, so we need a fuel truck connected there. We're gonna load 50%, but we're gonna use actually less than that. Our actually forgot to put it here. The block for this flight should be 4.7. It's a quick flight. Should take us 1 hour and let me see here. Should take us 1 hour. I'm on the wrong page here. Should take us 1 hour and 40 minutes, and we're gonna be flying flight level 400. We're gonna be using the high speed cruise setting because we're only climbing to 400 to fly level 400. So we are light enough that we're gonna be able to fly the not the long range setting on the cruise. We're gonna be flying the maximum cruise thrust setting, which is 300 knots, Mach 0.8. So yeah, we're gonna be giving her there. So what we need here is 4.7. What we have right now is 7.4, so it's yeah, we have a lot of fuel, so we can yeah, the thing is I didn't want to I didn't want to go that low, but we might go 5. We're still much, yeah, we might go 5. We're still in the limits to fly 400 at Mach 0.8, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's carry 5. So block will be 5.0. That will be a little bit better. Yeah. So just real quick here, we have right wing tanks, tank, left wing tank, center wing tank, and on this side you can see the feeders. So not only we have wing tanks and a center tank, we have 3 feeders here. Right side, the right feed, the left feed, and the center feed, and they of course carry fuel too. So it's not just the wing tanks and the center main tanks. We have the feeders full with fuel. So the way it works is in the simulator here, the fuel flows from the tanks to the feeder, and the feeder, as the name implies, feeds up the engine. So the right feeder will feed engine number 3, the center feeder will feed engine number 2, and the left feeder will feed the engine number 1. And wing fuel for the left wing will feed the left feeder, center wing, the center feeder, and right wing, the right feeder. Of course, we can cross feed and do all kinds of stuff, but in a normal situation, normal procedure will be right wing feeding right feeder that feeds the engine number 3, center wing feeds the center feeder, engine number 2, left wing feeds the left feeder to engine number 1. But one important thing to know is the wing tanks are not feeding the engines. They're feeding the tanks, the feeders, and the feeders are feeding the engine. That's one important thing to understand. Okay, see, I didn't want to keep the battery running for that long. We have everything set up. Oh, I forgot the luggage. 150. There we go. So we're good. I just don't want to run drain our battery, of course. So that's the payload manager. Like I said, I wish we could go a little bit more detail since this is the first flight, but we'll do next time. We are running GTN 750 to GTN 750 on a horrible position in the simulator. It's so we're gonna have to have a pop-up window on the 750 on our left side here, because it is really hard to fly, and having the information on the bottom there, that's not gonna happen, and it will be nicer for you guys too. Okay, with that being said, let's oh, there's something interesting here that we can just real quick. There's a knee board, which is Prepar3d's knee board, but there's a checklist here. So you guys can real quick, we can real quick go through this checklist. I hope it shows. I don't think it's gonna show. Yeah, it's gonna screw up the pop-up is gonna screw up the stream. Okay, so no checklist. Sorry, no checklist. I'll find a way some other time. Okay, back to the cockpit. So no checklist, unfortunately for you guys. Okay, one important thing to do is reset our fuel flow here, our counter. And one, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a cheating here. Oh, I'm just gonna move this just because it's a little bit of a pain to set the gross weight counter. So you can, there's this button here, it's we'll be cheating a little bit. It's gonna set the gross weight counter for us without us having to go through the dial. It's just very inconvenient. I just want to make sure that we have the gross weight is right. So it's 25,840. So just want to make sure that the counter is right. So let's jump to the co-pilot seat. Yeah, 25,839. Okay, that's good. So we are resetting everything here. And let's start our, right away. Let's start our checklist. Let's go through our checklist real quick. Parking brake intermediate, it's good. Cockpit flow, I just wanna make sure that everything looks good from left to right. Like real quick. Yeah, everything is off. That's what it's in. That's the most important thing. Yeah, we're looking good. Audio panels. Audio panels should be set. Should be VHF1, and then we set the idents as we go. Oxygen, we're gonna go through oxygen just this first time because it actually doesn't work. It's not well, we're gonna set cabin pressure and everything, and that works, but the oxygen itself, pressure and everything doesn't, it's not simulated, so none of this is clickable. The oxygen portion of the airplane. So we're gonna go on a checklist just this first time. But as you can see, there's nothing to click on it. There's nothing to check. And same as a pilot and cockpit oxygen. So as you can see, the oxygen mask, there's nothing to click. There's nothing to look. So, and you can see the same for the CVR, the cockpit voice recorder. Those are not those have not been simulated. Fire handles in, that's important. So yeah, they all look good. And all the discharge switches are on 0. So for the extinctors, landing gear is down and locked. Radar off. Everything should be off. We're gonna be using the same Milvis Rex weather radar. Same one as that we use on the Learjet, but better because now we have the actual dials and we know what we're selecting. That's one problem that I have with the Learjet, as you guys know. Radar's off, so standby pump is off. We will talk about in depth about all of this systems later on a next flight if I can start early enough. Cabin pressure selector and switch. It's guarded and it's on auto, so we're good. Up and down, it's set on green. Cabin pressure, we're gonna set the cabin pressure right away. So altimeter will be 2992 at fly level 400. So we're gonna set our altitude on the inner scale, our flight altitude, so it will be 400, so 40,000. Power levers are all cut off. There we go. Air brakes retracted, and he's gonna ask for flaps too. Slat and flaps handle on clean. Radio master on. Avionics, everything is on. Anti-ice, which is on the overhead here. This section is set. Everything is off. Bleed air panel, which is right here. The blue blue, let's call it blue panel is the bleed air panel. We will talk about it in another opportunity, but this is where we're going to be controlling the bleed air. Fuel panel is the yellow one. Everything's set, everything is looking good. Start selector, this is our start panel, and computer for the engines. So start panel should be on ground start, which is the middle position. Engine computers, we can turn them on right now. DC power selector. So this is our DC panel and this is our AC panel. We'll talk about two in a later opportunity. So it's all set for now, the way we want before with no power. Pilot switches. Oh, sorry, pilot. Pitot switches are off. This is our pitot control. This is our windshield control for the pilot, co-pilot, and the side panels. So pilot will be this, co-pilot will be this, and sides will be these ones. That we're gonna be controlling. So yeah, pitot switch, windshield heat set, and circuit breakers. They are not. I don't think they pop out. No, they don't, because they're not clickable. So we can just pretend that we looked and everything looks good. Well, pretend that we looked. No, let's pretend that everything is good. We actually looked. Okay, batteries on. Those are we have 2 batteries, 24 volts. We're gonna turn that on, check for voltage, and we're gonna check if the way it works here is this is we click to check. So we have an ammeter for each side. So battery 2, as you can see, it's on the positive side. That means that the battery is being discharged. We're not running we're not running anything. It's just running the batteries. Same thing on the left side on battery 1. It's being discharged right now. Main bus tie, you want flight normal off. So we are tying everything and running on serial right now, and that's gonna bring the light bus tied on. So we are tying all the buses right now. A C and D bus, we are gonna tie them. So now C and D are tied to the system. External lights as required. So we're gonna use an anti-collision red. We're gonna be starting the engines pretty soon. Fire warning. Let's test. There's a fire warning. Failure warning panel. We test. Okay, looking good. Landing gear test. There we go. Looks good. This is just for the first flight of the day. Fire warning is every time, but this are just for the first flights of the day, for the first flight of the day. And airframe anti-ice off. Yeah, anti-ice, we definitely want anti-ice off right now. Okay, let's start. Let's start the APU. We're gonna be running the APU. We can use a GPU, but GPU is not standard practice for the Falcon. The standard practice starts APU, no ground power, straight APU, and the APU will help us start the engines. The controls for the APU are on the other side. Instead of jumping to the other side, let's just zoom in. Okay, so we're gonna be running from the APU. Main bus tie should be tied, which we have. Number 2, booster pump. So the booster pump, let me just start the APU first. Then we talk about just that real quick. Number 2, booster pump on. APU master on. There you go. APU generator on. And we start the APU. We're going to see an increase of the EGT, exhaust gas temperatures. APU RPM is going to increase, and the generator load, it's going to come, the generator load, of course, is going to come alive. Just want to make sure that everything's going to stay in the green. Okay, the starter is offline. So, looks good. RPM is good, and the EGT is good. So, everything is looking good. We can check now. The battery is on the negative side. It means that the battery is being charged by the APU. So now we are not running the battery anymore. We're not draining the battery anymore. So we're good. And bleed air, we can turn the bleed air on from the APU. It doesn't matter. So yeah, okay. Just real quick. then, and I'm gonna turn transfer pump on. So booster pumps are the pumps that take the fuel from the feeders to the engine. Transfer pumps are the pumps that transfer the as you can see on the design here. This is the left wing, right wing, and center tank. So transfer pumps are the pumps that transfer fuel from the tanks to the feeders. And unfortunately, the way it works is if the light is on, it means that the pump is off. So you have to be careful with that. Yeah, this is a little bit tricky. You think that the light on means that the transfer pump is on, but it's not. You see that as soon as I flipped the switch to turn the transfer pump on, the light went off. So yeah, that's how it works. So we of course want, during the flight, we want transfer pump on and booster pump on. So the booster pump will help us feed, the transfer pump will help us feed, it's a mix of gravity and pumps and electrical pumps, but we'll maintain the system here. Minimum of 600 pounds of fuel in the feeder tanks. So every time that we run lower, the pumps are gonna activate, and it's gonna put more pressure on the line, and it's gonna help us to bring the level back to 600 pounds of fuel. Always 600 pounds minimum on each one of the feeders. Always. If it drops below, something's wrong, and we have to figure out. Okay, APU is on, so now we can relax a little bit. We are not draining the batteries anymore, but we still want to get it going before it gets too late. Okay, so now before starting engines checklist, but now with the power on, because we have the APU running. Inverters now go online, and we can check to see if they are working. Okay, that's for the bus, the AC bus number 1, and there's bus number 2. We are going to be talking more in details what everything is feeding what later on, or in another flight. Unfortunately, this is a short flight too. The original idea was to go to San Diego straight from Calgary. Then I changed it. I said, oh, no, let's go to San Francisco. It's getting late. Then I changed it. I said, you know what? Let's go to Portland. So unfortunately, we won't have time during the flight to talk too much, because there's it's not a long flight at all. Okay. He's calling avionics on. We can turn the avionics on right away. He's calling GPS on, but the GPS is slave to the avionics. We can change that on Reality XP settings, but it doesn't matter. We're not gonna burn nothing on the simulator. Okay, seatbelts and smoke can go on right away. Emergency lights we flip on first and then armed. Seats and pedals adjusted. Everything is looking good. What I want to look now is fuel quantity. We want to make sure that we have what we were planning to have. This is a switch that is going to show wings up and feeders down. So as you can see, the 600 will be the green mark here. We always want to see the feeders on the green mark. We can actually bring the page. It's gonna make, I usually do it by in my head, the calculation just real quick. We want to make sure that we have 6,000. That's 5,000. That's what we are. So it'll be 600, 612. Here is 15, 17, 18, something like that. So 3,000, and then another 6, another 1,200, roughly, and 7. So 47. It's a little bit more than 12,600. So yeah, that looks about 5. That looks about right. Or we can, if we want, of course, open. I never do. I just go roughly. We can come here and check on the payload manager, check each one and make sure, but that's really not necessary. We just glance real quick, and we say, and I know the simulator doesn't make any mistakes. We might make a mistake, but putting the quantity that we wanted, but yeah, If we know for sure that we had the exact quantity, it will be in the plane. Uh, hydraulic quantity, it's on the green, looks good. And this is gonna show the pressure. This is pump system number 1, or the left and the right system. We're gonna be talking about some other time too. Standby pumps, we set on, and then auto. Stall 2, we're gonna test. You're gonna see the flaps and the slats gonna move to slats, and we're gonna have a warning. That's the stall 2 stall warning. Air brakes, we are supposed to cycle them. Let's cycle them. You guys are gonna see an arrow and air brakes showing. That means that the air brakes have been deployed. So we're just gonna cycle here and wait for the light to extinguish. Trims, we're gonna set all 5 trims. These are the aileron trims and the rudder trims. They are I never touch, so they should be on 0. So this is 2, 4, and the most important one is the stab, our main trim. You want to set in the green region there. That's for takeoff. Battery temperatures, we're gonna test here. There's gonna be a test on the temperatures. Yeah, temperatures look good. Standby pump goes off. We are not supposed to run this pump on the ground for long. VMO alarm tests and cabin warnings tested. Oxygen mask and communication, we don't have to do it. Well, actually, COM we can, especially since we have this on right now. Let's just check here. So he's saying OBS 150. Yeah, that's what we have here, OBS 150. Looks good. One thing that I always have to do, let's pop this here, and I'm gonna of course make it much smaller. We don't need it. That's another issue that we're gonna have once we put the moving map, is how are we gonna do this? Staying on the top, it's I don't know. We'll figure out after. For now, we're just gonna leave it here. So we are 22.8. That's what we want for now. There's no ATC in Calgary right now, so we're good. That's what matters. And all as usual, monitoring 21.5, which should be on number 2 there. Can we even pop the number 2? I'm not too sure. Never tried. But anyways, 21.5, the emergency. The ELT. Okay, so that's that. Altitude alert selection selector ASAL. We're gonna our seed. We're gonna be flying a seed out of Calgary, even though it's a vector seed. It doesn't matter. We're still gonna fly it. And the initial climb should be 7,000. So we're gonna set this right now. I always forget that you can actually go by thousands. So that's good, and we can set our bugs for speed. V1 should be 91. Ooh, that was a lot. I forgot that this is the opposite. The wheel goes by thanks, I would say, and the button goes by. Is that what it is? Yeah. So it's the completely opposite of the altitude, but that doesn't matter. VR and V2 are the same, 101. So we can set up 101. Oh, it's by 5, the wheel. Okay, 101 set. I know I'm gonna forget something talking that much. Pressurization should be set. Yeah, we have 40. The rate, It's on auto, so he will deal with the rate, and we're gonna confirm and see the differential and how the cabin is how the cabin is responding to our climb through here, for the other display here over there. So pressurization is set, and we can just go over real quick the rest before we actually start the engine. Altimeter setting for Calgary right now is 29 or 9 or 7. Okay, and we can set up our flight plan too. So the flight plan should work. I haven't tried yet, but I did the file. So we're gonna try to import. So it should be this one. Beautiful, it worked. Okay, let me just strap my knee board here, so I can double check flight plans, the flight plan and everything else. It's gonna make it easier. Just give me 1 second. Send it to map. Okay, navlog. There you go. So yeah. Yeah, so it's Dumra, Quebec 890 all the way to Ropla, then direct Spokane VOR, then direct Jorad, and then the star. Yeah, that looks good. We're activating. Unfortunately, just like on the Learjet, crossfield doesn't work on the GTN 950. Unfortunately, RXP hasn't figured out a way to get this working yet. So what we're gonna do is, first I just want to change one setting here. Always happens to me. So what we're gonna do is, we are going to oh, I have to fix the stream again. So what we're gonna do is, we are just gonna set up one GTN. The other one we're gonna leave on the map screen with some information, but we're not gonna deal with that. Okay. Before we start all the engines, all three engines, and start burning fuel like crazy, what we should do is set up to our navigation, at least the departure. But oh, flight plan. So let's get everything set up here. So it's Calgary, and then to KPDX, Portland International. So our departure here from Calgary will be Calgary 7 or runway 11. So Calgary 7 runway 11. Just want to double check something here. I wonder if it will be just easier for us to go runway 17, since runway 17 is right in front of us. Runway 11, we have to it's behind us here, but it's a little bit more taxing. Okay, let's use 17. Let's change our plans. 17 right, it's right in front of us. There's no traffic, there's no ATC, nothing. Low departure. Our arrival, we're planning runway 28 right. That's what I got from the ATIS. And good for arrival. Jorad transition. Hopefully we have runway 28. There we go. And approach runway 28 right, ILS. They're using visual right now, and Schaefer we're gonna use. They're using visual right now. If ATC is still there by the time we get there, it's gonna be visual. If not, we're gonna shoot ILS. Transition will be Schaefer. So that should bring us if we look, if we have a take a preview from the of the flight plan, that should bring us all the way down the hood arrival, and the transition to the ILS should take us straight to the ILS 28 right. So in case ATC is not online by the time we get there, we're going to be shooting ILS. If ATC is online, we're probably going to be shooting visual. Okay, so that's that. On the departure, Calgary 7 is it's a vector departure, so we're going to be using now runway 17 right. So it's 165 heading. So we're going to be just real quick here. Let me just go to the map screen. Oh, and leave it on VLOC. Yeah. So we want 165 on the heading. There we go. And the course should be 165 too. So that's that. We're going to be using VOR. We don't need a VOR right now, but it's going to be VOR. What we can set up is ILS 17 right if we need to come back. So what we want is 109.3. Transfer right away. It's already a high dent, India Echo Mike ILS. That's the localizer. And we can set up on number 2, and we can do it through here, which is a little bit easier to set up through here. This is gonna be Con 1, this is gonna be Nav 1, this is gonna be Con 2, and this is gonna be Nav 2. So it's just a little bit easier than clicking. I guess not. Let's try 116. We want 1167. Oh no, that works. 1167, which should be a Calgary VOR, which I can see there is Calgary VOR. So that's that works great. And we want 254 on the Can I? I'm not sure. I don't remember here. Yeah, I can. 254 for the NDB. We have 2 NDBs, but unfortunately, as far as I know, Prepar doesn't accept 2 NDBs, 2 ADFs running. Not too sure, to be honest. I don't think I ever seen a plane with 2. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, no. Internally, it doesn't. You would have to program outside. I think that's how FS Labs has 2 different ADFs running. But I think if you're using the Prepar's 240, yeah. If you're using Prepared's what do you want to say? If you're using Prepared I forgot, but the standard system, you won't be able to. We can set this on ADF, it doesn't matter. We're not going to be looking at that way anyways. Here we definitely want VOR. And we can set up ADF here if you want. Yeah, we should, actually. I don't know where I took that 240 from. It's 254. So let's just move this, will be easier. Yeah, talking too much. Okay, so let's get this set before we start the engines, because we're gonna be starting the engines right away, and this burns a lot of fuel. So so yeah, 3 engines. It's not easy. Okay, so parking brakes. We want emergency. They want full forward first, and then emergency. We want to make sure that we have an emergency brakes on when we start. We need to change the system to number 2. That means that anti-skid is off, but everything is locked. So we want a number 2 brake light on steady. That means that we are on the emergency on number 2. Emergency brake on. Cabin warning lights, the warning lights that matter, of course, they are all off. Everything is looking good. Of course, there's no oil pressure, there's no fuel pressure, other than number 2 because we are pumping fuel to the APU. External lights anti-collision are red. So, but we already had it from before. We were starting the APU, not that we need it, but. And let's start the engines. The order to start the engines is engine number 2 first, then engine number 3, and then engine number 1. So, engine number 2 booster and transfer pumps are already on because we're feeding the APU. The start will be normal. We have it's a 3-way switch here. Low temperature start is the top, normal is middle position. External power, if you're using the GPU, it's bottom. But that's not the case. We're going to be using the APU to start the engines. So fuel booster pumps are on. Everything is on. The light is off. The light is out. And it was already because we were running the APU. External light anti-collision on. Let's start the engines. So ground start. There's air start and motor start stop. This is we can talk about later. Air start will be once we are airborne if we have to restart the engines. Ground start is a regular start, and this motor start, it's from what I remember, let's see, only 2 flights and in a while I forgot now. This is an emergency stop, and this is the switch that we're gonna flip it down if we have an failure on the start, if we have any anomaly on the start. But anyways, we're on ground start. Let's start engine number 2 first. We hold for 3 seconds, check N1, check everything, correction at N2. When N2 hits more than 12%, we are gonna flip the cutoff switch, and we're gonna put the engines on idle, because right now it's cut off. So we're gonna put the engine to idle. Okay, let's go. Roughly 3 seconds. Oh, I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, I am. Generators. See, talking too much. So generators online. Let me just see if I haven't forgot nothing else. Yeah, we should actually turn bleed air off when we start engines. Now it should go. There we go. So we have a rise on N1, rise on N2, N2 roughly 12. Can unlock. There we go. She's alive. Ignition should be, sorry, I didn't show. The ignition light goes on when the ignition starts, and it should go off when N2 reaches 50%. So just like on the Airbus, that we keep an eye to make sure that the ignition valve is gonna close. It's the same thing here. So okay, looking good. Let's go for engine number 3. Same thing, booster on, transfer on. Hold 3 seconds. There we go. We can hear the noise. I don't know if you guys can, but I can. We're gonna see real quick. Let me see. Okay, over 12. Ignition light should be come on, and it should go off once we reach N2 50%. So it should be off now. Yeah. Okay, engine number 3 is good. I don't know why the counter is not. Oh no, it's going on. Okay, good. Now engine number 1. Same thing. Booster on, transfer pumps on. 3 seconds. Rise on N1, rise on N2, more than 12%. She's alive. Very good. Oil pressure, temperature, everything's looking good. N2 percentage looks good. ITT good. Temperature N1 looks good. Everything's looking good. We're good to go. Engines are a go. Let's just double check here. Yeah, ignition went off. Yeah, that we closed the door. Yes. Okay, everything looks good. Avionic master on. We already had it just because of the GPS. Engine instrument. So just real quick here, everything is looking good. We set the bugs. We're gonna go through the tests and everything here, but everything is looking good. Yeah, I would say that everything is looking good. Hydraulic pressure and quantity looks good now. We're on close to 25 or 3000 psi. Hydraulic warning lights, there's no warning lights. Everything looks good. DC power selector, normal. So we're gonna flip this now and gonna run parallel. That's the normal flight mode. So this is gonna be separated from this, the right side and the left side. So bus Bravo and Delta, bus B and D are gonna be running, they run the right side, battery 2 and generator 3. Bus A and bus C will run generator 1, 2 and battery 1. If we have issues, we can run this in serial, and we can go through all kinds of troubleshooting here. But we can talk about this at some other time. APU is going off, so generator off, generator is off, and the master is off on the APU. We'll see a decrease in rotation, and of course the EGT, the temperature is gonna drop, and the load is already 0 because we disconnected the generator right away. Okay, yeah, it's looking good. So just make sure the battery should be okay, should be doing nothing, and the generators are running. Okay, we're gonna go through that after. Failure warning panels, everything looks good other than pitot. We were not gonna be running now, and autopilot. Same thing as the the crossfeed. Autopilot light means that autopilot is off, not on. So it's a little bit tricky. You have to be careful with that. So this means that autopilot is off, as we can check here. The switch on the autopilot is off. So the light means autopilot off. So main bus type fly normal. Light is off now, so it's not tied anymore. The bus is not tied anymore. Bus voltage we checked. The generators we checked too. Batteries we checked. Everything's looking good. Circuit breakers we can check again. Like I said, they don't pop out, so there's nothing to can just pretend. Circuit breakers. This is for the standby for our horizontal standby here. So we just want to make sure that it's electrically powered. So we want to make sure that everything's looking good. And this is for the emergency battery power. So we want to check those two just in case of an emergency, everything is actually working properly. So we can see that there's charge. And engine anti-ice, we just want to make sure that everything looks good. Of course, we don't want to run anti-ice on the ground if the temperature is what it is right now, 28 degrees. So airframe anti-ice is not to be used while on ground. So airframe anti-ice is a no-go on the ground. In flight, only above 10 degrees. With moisture, when we can see there is a visible moisture, we can go to +5 degrees or below. And engine anti-ice anytime that the temperature is below +5. Anyways, I said that we were gonna go through too much details. Let's let's uncage the standby, the horizon. Emergency battery is on, we checked. Radar goes on standby. So test, and I'm gonna take some of the brightness here. So it's so nice to see the numbers. It's so much better. Standby goes, pump goes to on. Voice recorder tested. It's not simulated. As you can see, the CVR is not simulated. Flight recorder 2. There's no simulation. Simulation of that. Radio and nav we already set up. Stall 1 and auto slats tested. We can see moving the slats and the warning. And Mach trim is on and the light is off. Autopilot and FD we can set up. We can put on the standby mode right away. So we want heading. We're gonna be wanting heading, outcell, vertical speed, which we're gonna be climbing first. I would say 3,000. I don't remember what I've been using, to be honest. But let's say 3,000. 1,500 should take us. Yeah, let's set 3,000. Yaw damper, we checked, make sure it's off. And autopilot, I think we're gonna lose that.
Autopilot?
No, there you go, autopilot is off. What I'm gonna lose is the trim, because of the auto trim when we turn the autopilot on. Okay. INS and IRS nav or VLOC mode for us on the GPS. Open the door for takeoffs and landings. So we have access, so the door is open in case of an emergency. And everything looks good. We're ready to go. We're gonna take off without the map, the moving map first, and then we can set up the moving map. Okay. So let's call Calgary.
Calgary,
oh.
Company 17 left.
So 117 left. It's okay, we are on 17 right. Real quick here, since we're already running the engines and everything. Gonna open Navigraph charts just so you guys have an idea where we are. So we're sitting at the Millionaire FBO here. So it's pretty easy for us to go runway 17 right. Runway 17 right is right there. So we're just gonna taxi Alpha here and hold short. That's it. This is the departure. There's not much to see. It's a vector departure. So 165 degrees climb to 7,000. That's it. And then we get vector. So not much to see. If we have to come back, 17 right. This is the ILS pre-standard 3 degrees glide slope, 6,500. Anyways, there's not much to see. So let's get going, and we turn the movie map on after. Calgary traffic, good afternoon. This is a Falcon 50 Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet. We are the Millionaire FBO right now, and we're going to be taxiing to holding point runway 17 right via Alpha. Any traffic inbound Calgary and especially inbound 17 right, please advise. Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet, thank you. Okay. Parking brake off. Should get the lights going off. Taxi lights now can come on. Test the brakes. This is the anti-skid. The anti-skid should blink when we're testing, so that means that it's working. Right side. So what you do, you hold the test button and hold the brake. Okay, so yeah, it's working. We have the wheel to taxi, so we don't need the pedals. We're gonna be using 20 degrees. We wanna go by stages. We wanna make sure that it's set before we move to the next setting. There we go. There's lats are green. We're gonna be taking off 20 degrees flap. Unfortunately, the sun now is gonna block our view, but we will see the lights and going off once we reach 20 degrees. Which way will be easier for us? I don't know. I'm not sure if there's an exit there. I know there's one up here. Yeah, there's not. Okay. And thrust reverser, making sure that it's not deployed. Here's the light, transit and deployed, just by underneath our plate there. Deployed and transit. And of course, this is the lever for the reverser. Oh, there's the traffic that I called on the radio. Okay, before takeoff, since we're pretty close, all trims, the trims are set. Everything's looking good. Slats and flaps are takeoff. Oh, actually, there's one thing that we didn't do. Let me just brake here real quick. For flight controls, everything's good. Windows are closed, we never open. Avoid forgetting. Flight instruments, everything looks good.
Cafe 905 on heading, climbing on heading 171, will be directing to Ipsit.
And APU bleed, generator and master, everything is off on the APU. And FATS check, flaps and air brakes, trim and speed. So flaps, good, air brakes, good, trim, good, and speeds are set. So yeah, we're good. There is Alpha there, runway 17 right. Okay, so lining up, start selector, air start. Of course, if we have an issue, we want to make sure that we're gonna restart when we're airborne. Pitot switch, now they are both go on. Engine anti-ice as required, we don't need. Exterior lights, so we want anti-collision now on, and landing light go on. Taxi can go off, nav go on. Warning lights and flags, everything's looking good. Radar on, transponder on. We already had it mode C. Just want to make sure. Yeah. And runway heading, we want to confirm 17 right. 17 right, 17 right. And the heading is 165. That will be the heading on the departure, of course. We're good to go. Let's go. So takeoff power should be, takeoff should be 98.5. Engine number 2 and 1. And maximum climb should be 95.4. We don't need to go back too much. I know always get as most of the runway we can. Oh, there's another small thing that we need to set up here: the temperature, before the passengers complain. That's one thing that we would have felt, of course. In the real plane, we would have forgot that. Calgary traffic, Falcon 50 Golf Oscar, Foxtrot Juliet, lining up runway 17 right. We're gonna be flying the Calgary 7 departure, initial climb 7,000. After that, we're gonna be proceeding on course to towards Portland and climbing to flight level 400. Any traffic, please advise. Golf Oscar, Foxtrot Juliet, Calgary. Thank you. Okay, we're good. Let's get going. Hold the brakes here. Put a little bit of power. Like I said, 98. It's really hard to get it properly, but to get it precisely, I'm gonna use the mouse once we are flying. But on the actual throttle, it's really hard to put the proper. So we just try to not go too crazy. Okay. All the gauges are green for the engines. Airspeed is alive. Everything is looking good. V1. Rotate. Gear up. It's gonna ease off the noise a little bit. There we go. Okay. There you go. That's 1,000 to go. Calgary traffic, Falcon 50 Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet, airborne 17 right. Right now it's 6,200, climbing to 7. And once we reach 7, like in 2 minutes, we're going to be proceeding southwest, climbing to flight level 400, en route to Portland. Any traffic, please advise. Golf Oscar, Foxtrot Juliet, thank you. Okay. So of course you want to respect the 250 knots here. We're going to be turning quick. Just want to go the... Let's do direct to flight plan Derma. There you go. Turn our nav on, and CDI has to go to GPS. So now the GPS is controlling the heading. Everything is looking good. Our climb is gonna be 250 for now, but N1 is gonna be 99.2. So we are right there, 250. Let's climb. So let's set a new altitude, which will be 400. So we want outcell, vertical speed. We do 1,000 right now, and a 99.2 correction. We of course gonna need way more than 1,000 feet to hold the 250. It's gonna be 250 for now. Once we cross the 10,000 feet, sorry, I was just looking at the N1 power setting. Once we cross the 10,000, we're gonna climb at 300 knots. Okay, landing gear up, airframe anti-ice we don't need, slats and flaps clean. Standby pump is on auto. Start selector back to ground start. So all the ignitions go off. Climb power set, landing light and taxi light. So taxi light was off, landing light can go off now too. Actually we are what? 10,000, yeah, that's good. Autopilot and yaw damper are on. Cabin pressure, we just want to make sure that this stays on the green, the differential, and everything looks good. There we go, 10,000. Let's apply our 99.2. Like I said, it's not going to be precise. There's always a little bit of noise on any axis, you guys know. It's really hard to... If you want to be precise, you're going to have to move with the mouse. That was pretty good. 99.5, 99.6, and 98.9. Let's just move this a little bit. Very good. Okay. And cabin pressure and temperature, we are right now at 20 degrees, as you guys can see here, and that's good. And exactly what we want. Close to 300 knots. Climbing, and 99.2 N1 on all three engines. Outcell is armed, just make sure, or else just like on the Q400, the dash, if you don't have outcell on, he will blow through the engine, the altitude that you set. Let's increase our climb a little bit. Oh, and forgot the no smoking and seatbelts can, no smoking can stay on. You know what? This is rich people's, we are all rich, we do whatever we want. We won't be using now, but I'm gonna set the DME. And it's nice we have a counter here showing outside air temperature and our true air speed, so we don't have to do any calculations, or we don't have to depend on the GPS to tell us to say anything to us. And that's that. We're airborne. Very nice. I of course had to delay the after takeoff checklist just because of right. Oh, that was too loud. Just because I'm talking and doing a lot of things at the same time, but it works out well. So we're past 18. Always keeping an eye on N1, and of course, definitely N2 and the ITT. You don't want anything anything going up. Well, actually, we are looking at everything. That's how it is. Oh yeah, everything's looking good. We're on our way to Portland. Hopefully, we won't be needing the weather radar. Okay, as we climb, we lose power, so we're gonna add more power to go back to our 98. What was it? 99.2. There we go. And of course we have to decrease our climb the higher we go. When it gets close to the end, we're really gonna be dragging there 200 feet per minute or so, but just like in real life. If you look into something like FlightSimware, and you look at the Falcons flying, they climb really slow. Like once they get to a certain altitude, they really have no rush to climb. All we want is to maintain the 300 knots. So since we have the power setting properly, the only way for us to increase our speed is changing our vertical speed. Since I've only flown this plane twice, and a while ago, it's hard for me to remember the setting that worked well, but once we start flying more, this all will come, right, we'll know right away, oh yeah, 400 feet per minute, once we're past 20,000 or something like that. We'll get used to, right? Yeah, as you can see, we are down to 600 feet per minute. And by the way, this is VSI and a TCAS in the same instrument. It's digital. So this will give us traffic too. And we've already burned almost 1,000 pounds of fuel. But it's 3 engines, right? So it is a lot of engines. Yeah, we reach our 300 knots that we were planning. We have 10,000 or more feet. 10,000 more feet to go. Oh, one thing that I don't remember, I might have skipped, is the GPWS. We never tested.
Sync rate,
We can do it now.
terrain, flight, slope, localize, sync rate,
And the radar altimeter.
minimum.
Huh? I probably skipped, probably missed because I was talking, doing all that stuff. Because I remember doing on the other 2 flights, and I would have only done if it was on the checklist, right? I did on the ground. Of course, I would have remembered. I would have looked now while we were while I was flying, and I would have figured that I forgot that. But yeah, I probably missed. Oh, we forgot to do. Oh, actually, I did. Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes. We did. We flipped the knob there. Yeah. I was going to say we forgot to set up on altitude reporting on mode C, right? But no, we did. Yeah, 10,000 to go. Like nice weather all the way down. No areas, no warnings, no nothing. On ForeFlight here, like it's smooth sailing all the way down to Portland. So that will be good. Our cruise setting, by the way, should be N1 should be 96.3. That's gonna give us should give us a true airspeed of 459 knots and a fuel flow of 728 pounds per hour each tank, each engine. So times 3, so almost 2,400 an hour. Can flip this to both VORs. The VOR is a long one, so is the NDB. The wind is coming from our right. It's actually strong. We're unfortunately getting a stronger headwind. It's coming a little bit from our right there, so we're gonna have to fly a little bit off. We won't be flying the desired track. We won't be flying the desired track. We're gonna have to be a little bit off to the right to maintain our desired track. We'll see. We had before. Oh no, we're basically the same. Yeah, 210, 1 degree right now. Yeah, it's almost completely headwind. So. Oh yeah, movie map. Almost forgot about the movie map. Let's get the movie map going here. Actually, do we actually? I don't know. Is it worth it to? We have the GPS. GPS has a movie map. Unless we move this up here. Let me see how this looks on the stream. I don't know, is this worth it? I personally, if I was watching, I wouldn't think it's worth it. We have a movie map on the, I know it's not zoomed out like the like the GTN, but is it worth it to cover 1/4 of the screen with a maps and stuff that won't make any difference. And I don't want to move to the right side or move it up. It's gonna be all the same. We could, of course, move this down and move the map up. But oh, sorry. The same thing. You're losing outside view for a map that won't make any difference. I don't know. I personally don't see the point, especially since we have the GTN with the map. Like I said, I know it's not the same. It's zoomed in a lot, but unless we move it up. I don't know. Yeah, we'll do this time, and but I don't know. I'll turn it off. Hopefully, I'll remember to turn it off once we hit our the beginning of our approach. Should be 100% now. Oh, I was just gonna say, we should look if we see Seattle is online.
One 2-0. By the way, please can you repeat the instruction?
American 305, cross Auburn. It's the last fix on the arrival. Add and maintain 12000 at 250 knots.
Roger that. So cross Auburn at 12000 and 250 knots. And copy the altitude 3006 American 305.
Seattle Center, good afternoon. Falcon 50 Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet. Roughly 135 miles northeast of Spokane, VR, climbing 37 to 400.
Charlie, Golf, Oscar, Foxtrot, Juliet, Seattle Center, radar contact, squawk 6601.
6601 in the box, Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet, thank you.
Seattle Center 9999. Sorry about that accidental disconnect. 9999.
No worries, I still got you.
There you go, 6601 in a box. I was just gonna say that we should look if, yeah, I saw the line, I said we should look if Seattle's online. I'm talking too much and forgetting the reaction of VATSIM. And Seattle will take care of Portland for us. So that's all we need in terms of center, of course. Now if Portland arrival and tower and all that stuff, the airport environment is online, then that's a different story. Okay, we're approaching our, we just heard the 1,000 to go warning there. So for our cruise is 96.3. So this time I'm gonna use the mouse. Just to set a more precise, there you go, much better. 96.3, 1 and 2 and 1. There we go. That's all we want. So true airspeed right now, of course, we just leveled off. So let's wait a little bit and see if we're gonna get anything close to what we were expecting. The fuel flow is definitely not what we were expecting. We were expecting 728. We are up like 600 now. Might give it a little bit of a boost there. Okay. Important stuff. Unfortunately, we have to go to the co-pilot seat. We want to make sure that first the pressure and temperature are good for the oil. And the another really important thing is to have access to a switch here and make sure that everything is fine. So once again, up will be wing tanks and down will be the feeders. We had more fuel on the central, the center feeder as we had on the right and left, as you guys remember when we load up when you loaded the plane. So it makes sense that we are at the minimum 600 right and left, and we have a little bit more on the center one. So basically, that's all we wanna. That's what we wanna keep an eye that we have to jump to the left side here, to the right side. Sorry. There you go. True airspeed now makes it's
American 305, contact Seattle, approach 125.
now that we gave a little bit of time for everything to
Seattle approach
settle down. We're getting 469, 62. Sorry, for our true airspeed, and we planned 459, so that's pretty good. We are though a little bit faster than we were planning, so let's bring this down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. But the fuel flow, yeah, it's not even close. According to calculations, it was supposed to be 728, unless I made a mistake on the calculations. It might have been. Well, it doesn't matter. As long as we are burning less than we planned, that's good. It's not that we were heavy, anyways. That landing weight is a concern. It really not. It is not. So we don't have to worry too much about it. What we want to do, oh yeah, there's one bad thing about moving the camera. We lose the GPS. What we want to do is on cone 2, oh that's nav 2. Oh yeah, we have I keep forgetting that we actually have a cone here too. We want to set up just in case, since Seattle Center is online, I'm pretty sure there's an ATIS for Portland going on. So let's set up the the 80s for Portland.
01530.
There you go.
West variable at 4.
American 582, cross Auburn and maintain 12000 at 250 knots, so Seattle altimeter 3006, landing south.
Temperature 26, 2.11. Altimeter 3006.
American 582 will cross
ILS, runway 16 right, 16 left. Departing runway 16 left. North of 2 airmen. Bird taxi in vicinity of the airport. Advise on initial contact. You have information Lima. The Tacoma International Airport native information Lima. 01530 Zulu. West variable at 4. Visibility 10. Your clouds at 4000. Your clouds at 14,000. Temperature 26. 2.11. Altimeter 3006. ILS. Runways 16 right, 16 left. Departing runways 16 left. North of 2 airmen. Bird taxi in vicinity of the airport. Advise on initial contact. You have information Lima. The Tacoma International Airport native information Lima. 01530 Zulu. West variable at 4. Visibility 10. Your clouds at 4,000.
Sucks that we're getting.
Your clouds at
We're getting
14,000.
Seattle.
Temperature 26.
Oh wait.
2.11.
Actually, yeah. We're getting Seattle instead of Portland. You know what I'm gonna do real quick? I'm gonna check the weather. Just to see if it still makes sense. Because we're planning runway 28. So, yeah. Well, it's just, they're just gonna publish a new one. Since this is a pretty quick flight, one thing that I wanna make sure that we're good. Oh, sorry. That we're good here is our VNAV. So JORAD at 240, not below 240. And if you take a look at our navigraph here, there's our star or arrival. So yeah, JORAD not below 240. That makes sense. Then we're gonna have another Lund 17. Then Int'l 13, hood between 15 and 9, and speeds, there's some speed restrictions here too. We'll deal with that once okay, so we have 25 minutes, not much. We don't have much time here. I would love to see. Oh yeah, just as I said, I was going to say I love to see the on a V-Pilot Portland's 80s, and it just showed up. Okay, Portland 80s. Information Juliet. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show it to you guys. It's on a different computer. So KPDX information Juliet. 0153. Oh, it's gonna change. Okay, 0153 Zulu. Or are they using? Winds are 310 at night. ILS in visual. Yeah, that's what I thought. Landing and departing runway 28 left and 28 right, so it's visual. So visual 28
American 582,
left,
contact Seattle approach 125.
28 right. Okay, and we want 28 right.
1256 for American 582.
28 right is better for us.
Bye-bye.
Just double checking our procedures here. 28 right, yeah. Joyride, hood 4, yeah. Still a much better true airspeed than we were expecting. That's really nice. Okay, no time for talking. Let's set up the bugs for our VREF and our hold. So 104 should be our VREF. We're gonna add 10 for our approach, 140, 114. We're gonna be flying around 140 on the approach. Just want to take a look at the landing data here. So yeah. So on close to our final approach, on the last portion of our approach, we're gonna have the flaps on slats plus 20 for the flaps, and we're gonna maintain 140 until we turn until we are on turn final, until we hit the glide slope. Then the gear is gonna come down a little bit after. We want full flaps, 40 degrees flaps, and we're gonna maintain roughly 120, and then we're gonna flare. And we're gonna try, once we are over the threshold, we're gonna bring it down to 114, and then of course 104. So that's basically what we have planned here. Let's set up the ILS. We can actually look real quick. Like I said, we don't have much time. I don't wanna, with ATC, I don't wanna create issues here. There's ATC, guaranteed there's traffic. There's the ILS, there's localizer, 283, the course one on 1.3. This is gonna be where we are coming from, Schaefer, if I'm not mistaken. It is. So we're coming from Schaefer. No procedure turn, we don't need, doesn't matter. And we're gonna intercept the localizer here. Final approach fixed altitude will be 2000, and we're gonna descend on a localizer standard 3 degrees. We have a few numbers here for our vertical speed, depending on our approach speed. So we should be using 140, 743, between 140 and 120. Missed approach, climb straight 600, right turn 4200, climb to 600 and right turn 4200 direct to battleground VOR and hold. Continue climbing, hold to 4200. And battleground VOR is 116.6. Our minimum, our MDA, our decision height is 250. So let's set this up right away. So our decision height will be 260. Our speeds, so we want 114. 114 and 177 if we were to, we can set, doesn't really matter. I don't see us needing this. $177. The pressurization we'll deal with it a little bit later. But the most important thing is to get the ILS too, if we need. I don't think we will, but we never know. We're gonna ask for runway 28 right. It's gonna make it for an easier taxi for us. I should actually bring it back and Ah, come on. 111.3. And the ident is on this one. He's getting something else right now, but it will show up after. And we can set battleground 1066 too. And set battleground over here. And get it active right away. And we want to ident both. Yeah, 166. Yeah, best time of the day. Checking again, 18 minutes to our top of descent. Double check on vPilot here. Yeah, just Seattle Center, but he will guide us all the way down. So even if it's just Seattle Center, it is okay. It will be nice if Tower and Approach show up, but Seattle is nice. At least we have Seattle.
Number 211 Zulu Alpha, Seattle Center, go ahead.
We could have tracked, we should have actually. We should have done that.
Number 211 Zulu Alpha, roger. Advise me of the weather at Salem. Which runway would you like?
We should have tracked the Spokane VR. But now it's too late. We're already crossing. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this
Roger, ready to taxi now? Alright, Cessna 1 Zulu Alpha, runway 34, taxi via Charlie, advise ready for departure.
There you go. That's what we want to hear. Yeah, so we can track. Anyways, yeah, sure. Track the Spokane VR then. Now that's okay. Roughly 37 minutes to go, and even less for top of descent. 15. On our descent until we reach 26,000, we're gonna maintain 77% on N1. After we are past, once we're past 26,000 feet, we're gonna be bringing down to 550 pounds per hour on a fuel flow. So we're gonna control the speed, the power. We're gonna set the power on N1 until we reach 26,000. Below that, we're gonna set up by our fuel flow. Landing distance 2100 feet, field length 3500. Those are the minimums for us, which we shouldn't have any issues with Portland. Not a concern, but
Central aircraft data is kilo current at Portland, altimeter 3004. Number 1 Zulu Alpha, what's your on-course setting?
so there's the new ATIS. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna tune in because we're gonna end up getting Seattle
What's
again.
your on-course setting?
So it's kilo now, of course.
1 Zulu Alpha, roger, right turn on course approved, runway 34, cleared for takeoff.
0253. The time. The winds are 310 at 10. It was 310 at 9 before. Few clouds, everything's good. Temperature's 25, dew point 14. Doesn't matter for us right now. Altimeter is 3004. It was 3003 before. Still visual, 28 left, 28 right. There's our top of descent coming up. Since this is the first flight and there's a gonna give you guys a view from outside. You know, we never do that. But this is the first flight, so let's do it once. It's gonna get loud, too probably. So let's just have an outside view of this beautiful airplane and this nice PBR exterior here, textures. You got the sun reflecting, just beautiful. Sorry about the noise, and you can see all the moon on one side and the sun on the other side. Yeah, just an amazing work by Flysimware. This PBR texture is just, well, the texture, wasn't done by them, but their textures are amazing too. There we go. Look at that.
Attention all aircraft, data Mike is current at Seattle, altimeter 3007.
Just beautiful. And okay, enough of I can't hear. There you go. Let's go back to let's get serious again.
Number 1 Zulu Alpha, leaving Salem Delta airspace, frequency change approved, take care.
So here we have we can change the display, which is actually pretty handy. There's a switch here, TTG, time to go, speed, and estimated time. The thing is, I'm pretty sure this is getting information from flight simulators, from prepared flight plan. Since we never load a flight plan on prepare, it's always going to show 0. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. If we load an actual flight plan, we could. It only takes a second. But since I never do, I don't have the, you know, we never need that because we're actually flying more advanced aircrafts that we don't need the prepared flight plan loaded. It shows 0. But if we were to have a flight plan loaded. I'm pretty sure he will be showing the proper estimated time. But yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty neat to have this, all this information here on the display. So as again, time to go, our speed, and this is ground speed, and it's nice for us that because
Charlie Golf, Oscar, Foxtrot, Juliet, descend via hood 4 arrival, Portland landing west, to Portland altimeter 3004.
Descend via hood 4 arrival. Golf Oscar, Foxtrot, Juliet would like to ask 228 right if possible, please.
You can expect that. I'll assign it to you once you get closer.
Okay, awesome. Just make it for a much quicker taxi to the GA apron. Thank you.
Yep, you can expect that. I'll go ahead and put that in for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, we were gonna descend on hood 4 arrival. Thank you.
Yep, and you're parking at Atlantic, right?
I'm sorry?
You're parking at Atlantic, right? The north ramp?
Yeah, we want to park by the U.S. Customs there, if possible.
Yep, you can expect, and you said runway 28, right? Correct, just to make sure?
Yeah, two-way ride will be easier for us.
Yep, you got it.
Awesome, thank you so much. Go Fox or Juliet.
No problem.
There you go. Oh yeah, just real quick before we start our descent, I know he already told us that we can go. This is where we're gonna park. So we're gonna be using runway 28 right. This is the GA terminal in parking, and you have U.S. Customs there. So we have to go through it. Being a Canadian flight, we're gonna stop there. It's a little bit early for us, but we can start our descent like go slow. So let's set here. So according to the star that we looked into, our first altitude should be 24, and that's by Joyride. So let's start our descent. We can set outsail here. As you can see, outsail won't make the plane move, just like on the Q400. That's one good thing about outsail. And we can set our vertical speed and then go down. Let's change our field here to our good old VSR. So right now we will want 1200, so we can set up that roughly 11. And as we talked about, we should be going down to 77% on N1. This time I'm not gonna use the mouse. Doesn't have to be, it's just a descent. There you go, 76.2, 76.6, 767 is good. And we want to set up our altitude here, should be sea level. Usually sea level plus 500. Oh, usually, sorry, not sea level plus 500. Usually airport elevation plus 500. Depends. I don't know. I don't have information for this plane. So yeah, let's do. Let's always do. Then it gets standard to whatever I don't have information. Let's do airport elevation plus 500. So and that of course will be on the outside display here. So we're gonna set the cabin altitude to the airport altitude plus 500. And should be getting a differential of 0 once we touch down. That's what we want. So there it is. 1,000, it's saying 1,000. There you go. So pressure and temperature, everything looks good. Oh, I forgot to close the door. We were supposed to close once we are airborne. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's us on a flight. It's not a commercial. flight. Anti-icing we don't need. Everything looks great. Just gonna double check here to make sure there's no icing expected anywhere. Just gonna take a look at the products here again. Yeah, no icing whatsoever. Yeah, just wanted to make sure everything's looking good. Looking at the maps here. So we'll follow the star. So 2400, 240 at Jora, then down to 17, not below 17 by Lund, then not below 13 by Int'l, not below Hood, between 15 and 9 by Hood, then Schaefer at 6,700. And we're gonna be able to follow that because the GTN will have all the constraints. So it's a nice nice touch to have the GTN that we don't have to keep showing the Navigraph that much. Yeah, let's just keep our 1000. It's close enough to 970. It was a little bit earlier, but it's okay. Earlier than expected. We're still gonna maintain. We're gonna compensate a little bit. So instead of descending on a higher vertical speed, we're just gonna ease off a little bit. That will work too. So let's wait until we reach roughly 20,000. We're gonna turn the seat belts and no smoking on and all that stuff, and flip, do our 20,000 prepare for landing check. And that will be it for our first Falcon flight ever. That was really nice. Like I said, again, I had one idea, was to talk about everything, all the systems and everything, and do a short flight, but start earlier and do like walk through the most important stuff, especially what to do if something goes wrong. So know how to manage the electrical system, know how to manage the bleed air, know how to manage the fuel system in case one pump goes down, like if something happens. But unfortunately, I started too late. I didn't want to miss with on ATC. I knew if you were to get too late, we would have ended up missing ATC. I didn't want to land at night either. I didn't want to fly at night because it's nicer for you guys to see the cockpit. By the way, this cockpit, I know it doesn't look the best. To me, actually, serviceable. I doesn't bother me at all. But I know it's not the same standards as some other developers. But there is a PBR interior cockpit and cab, everything. An interior being developed, a PBR which looks fantastic. I've seen the screenshots. So another thing is they are developing the FMS for this plane, which I personally not too much fan of it. But not gonna complain. It's nice, but I don't think we're gonna be using it. I think we're gonna stay with the GTN. I like the GTN. But yes, they are developing an FMS, probably going to be something like the Dash FMS, from what I understand. And but we're going to keep with the GTN probably. But yeah, there's a PBR panel coming, panel cabin, everything coming in. So it's going to be exterior and interior PBR with PBR textures. The exterior is already has PBR textures. But the interior will be PBR too. So yeah, something to look forward to. But like I said, even if they never had a PBR texture, it really doesn't bother me at all. The plane is fantastic. So yeah, going down slowly, maintaining our There's the 8 is for the real 8 is for Portland, but the Seattle Center put 8 is on 118.0 for both Seattle and Portland. I wonder if we can get Portland now instead of Seattle. We don't need, but just out of curiosity. Do you have 118? No.
25, bird taxi and vicinity of the airport. Altimeter 3004. You high elevation high visual, and charted visual approaches in view. Landing and departing runways 28 left and 28 right. National.
Yeah, that's Portland now. 28 left and 28 right is Portland. So yeah, once we reach 26,000, we're gonna change and then set up our descent power setting to 550 pounds per hour. So it's gonna be a little bit more power than we have right now. If we remember to do it, since I talk a lot. But yeah, really nice. I'm very happy actually with this, the selection of this first flight. I'm glad that Seattle's online. The guy, the controller, the ATC, has been great, perfect, very professional as usual. So yeah. Very nice service here.
Minimum.
I was gonna check this again.
Terrain.
We don't need to.
Localized. Sync rate.
But now there's a lot of stuff going on the final, like on short final. We're supposed to test stall warnings and all that stuff, which with me talking to ACC and having to do all that, we are probably not going to be doing. What we're going to do is on final approach, we'll test all that stuff. But if you are type rated on the Falcon, don't come after me. There's a reason. I know you're supposed to do go through some flows on a really short final, but it's, I mean, I can't with by myself, especially not knowing by heart the checklist yet. It's we won't be able to do it. We're gonna be doing, but we're gonna move a little bit ahead. Really nice. Would be really nice. It would have been really nice to have a standby altimeter that we could set up the altimeter setting. One that we could actually set up an altimeter setting, but we don't. So, but it's okay. Just gonna go for a last time to a co-pilot seat here, to the right seat. Just want to make sure that everything here looks good, and the fuel. Yeah, see the tanks, the wing tanks are gonna go, and we still have 600 on the center tank, but of course we have almost 2200 in the feeders right now, so we're good to go. We've burned 2468 so far. The plan was to burn 3300, so we'll see. So I have the 900 to go. Let's see how close we get from those numbers there. Oh, 35 with taxi. 35 with taxi, so we have 1100. We still have 1100 to burn. Oh, the GPS, sorry. Ah, that's really nice. Because we're setting a speed, which really doesn't matter. We are this the way it works is this flag here will tell us if we're too fast or too slow on the approach. That's the point of having this. The problem is I like to set up the VREF plus 10 and not the approach speed that we wanna be doing. To me, it's more important. You know, we can see if we're fast or too slow. It's not that hard. But the way this works is if we can set up with the bug here. We can set up a speed of the approach speed that we are planning on flying, like 140, 120, whatever. And when we are on the glide slope, we don't have to keep looking at we don't have to keep looking at our speeds. We just maintain. We concentrate in this area here, and we can see the glide slope, the localizer, and our speeds all in one section here, in a center panel here, which is actually pretty cool. But for us it won't work because I always like to put a more important speed, which is VREF plus 10, right? So we're always going to be fast because we're going to be approaching 140 and then bringing it down to 120, and that's faster than our VREF plus 10. 1000 to go. And let's bring it up to 550 roughly pounds per hour. We're below 26 already. Now let's control the power by our airspeed, because of course we don't want to be going too much faster than 300 knots. And once we hit those constraints there, we wanna respect. I'm pretty sure speed is not a concern here, but so we want 17 now. Once again, this is not. This is not a mandatory altitude. It's not below
13, Seattle Center Squawk 6605.
17, so we don't have to actually be at 17. We're getting close to 20, so let's do seatbelts. Let's pulse the landing light. Just double check everything else. Everything's looking good. Real quick. Pressurization is looking good. Speed is actually holding up, nicely with the 550. It's more 60 now, but.
Scout 2913 radar contact 50 miles southeast of Port Tuna. Descent of pilot's discretion. Maintain 10,000.
Sorry, I was going to say it's more like 600 instead of 550.
Tree. Safe approach request when able.
Bring it back a little bit more. Since the speeds are pretty close to 300.
Scout 2913, roger, expected.
Another nice touch is the visor there. Sun visor. And we can open and close this window too. Not right now, of course. That wouldn't be good. Let's bring the power down a little bit more. So after land, we want Int'l at 13,000 and 270 knots max. So what we should do is we should bring our speeds
Seattle Center, Alaska 055.
Alaska 055, Seattle Center, go ahead.
right away.
Gaming sir, we have Portland Information Kilo requesting IMR clearance to
Like
Seattle.
I said, he didn't say nothing about speeds.
Alaska 055,
I don't think it matters.
To Seattle Tacoma Airport, Portland 1 departure that has
To
filed.
be honest,
Maintain 7,000, squawk 66, or correction, maintain 6,000, squawk 6621.
Clear to Seattle via the Portland 1 departure, that is filed. We'll come and maintain 6,000. We'll remain on this frequency, squawk 6621, Alaska 55.
Alaska 55, read back correct. Runway 28 right for departure, advisory taxi.
Copy 28 right, we'll call for taxi.
so no corrections on airspeed.
Womack,
We don't need,
Womack at or above 5,000.
We don't need NTIs.
Clear at ILS runway 32 approach.
Clear direct to Womack. Across Womack at about 5,007. Clear to ILS runway 32.
Bring air brakes down a little bit.
Center Southwest C39 is 11,000, climbing 15,000, direct here.
Let's see. I haven't used the air brakes
Seattle Center, climbing
yet.
maintain playable
I want to see how much speed we're gonna
37
lose here.
C39. Is there any chance shortcut?
Oh,
Southwest 239, how does direct Meldeck sound?
Direct Mulbag, that's great. Southwest 239, thanks.
No problem.
there you go to 906, and airport will be 3004. Yeah, this is a really nice view. Small disclaimer, we're running Pacific Northwest, Orbix Pacific Northwest, so this is not stock or base, or Orbix base is actual Pacific Northwest.
Alaska 055 Seattle.
Alaska 55.
Whenever you're ready to push, give tower a call 123.77. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Copy, we'll call tower for push, Alaska 55.
Oh, that means that tower's online. There you go. KPDX tower.
Charlie Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet at Schaefer, clear to ILS runway 28 right approach.
At Schaefer, clear to ILS 28 right. Go faster, Julia. Thank you. Beautiful. Being holding 250, nice. Max is 270, but max will be 250 pretty soon, so might as well hold 250. Just a confirmation on the ident here, India Alpha Papa. That's the ILS-28, right?
Seattle Center, Alaska 1682, flight level 360, left 35 miles, ready.
Alaska 1682 radar contact, or Seattle Center radar contact, squawk 6675.
So next will be between 15 and 9,000.
United 9976 is leave my airspace. Salt Lake City Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a good night.
So let's set up 9,000 right away. Lights, everything looks good. Everything's still looking
United
good.
9976 Seattle Center.
Yeah, that's really nice. I don't want to turn the instrument lights on because as usual it's so bright. I really don't want to. We can turn the shield, but even that, oh man. To the eyes adjust to the brightness. It's
Citizens Alaska 9264, good afternoon. At the moment, about...
and Schaefer, we need to be at 6,700, 210 knots.
But block VOR for level 3 here.
Alaska 2654 Seattle Center, squawk 6637. What was your position?
Approach is online till now.
35 miles from north of the Romeo Bravo
12435.
Alaska 2654, thanks for radar contact.
There you go. Approach on
Tower
12435.
2913, no traffic observed between you and the Arcata Airport for cancellation
And then
of
Tower
IFR. Change to
2377.
advisory frequency approved. Charlie Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet, contact port on approach 124.35.
2435, go Foxtrot Julia. Thank you very much for your professional service. Have a good afternoon. Bye bye.
My pleasure, we'll see you.
Portland approach. Good afternoon. Falcon 50, go Foxtrot Juliet. Leaving 10,900 to 9,000 on Hood 4.
Okay, 0 Foxtrot Juliet, Portland approach. Roger, continue on the ILS approach.
Continue ILS approach. Go for Oscar Foxtrot Juliet. Thank you very much. Okay, nice. So we have approach it now. Perfect. So just real quick here. So car bugs, everything good. Crew briefing, we're okay. Transfer and transfer feed and intercom are are properly set. Anti-icing is good. Circuit breakers we checked. Altimeter, let's set up to 3003. Brakes 1 on. Standby pump on. I always go the other way. A little bit of mechanical turbulence here. Actually, nav1 we still want. There you go. $200 for those LATs. Where you can see they are moving, and they are set. They're green. So we want to maintain close to 140 right now. $37. An AC or NASI will be our intermediate fix. Serves as initial approach fix and intermediate fix. So right there we're gonna be straight into our to intercept our localizer, and you want to be at 3700. Oh, not below 3700, sorry. got the DME here going on. We have distance set. There's a TFR ahead. Was on concern to us on the simulator here. $2,900. And we have the
Falcon
airport
0
inside.
Foxtrot Juliet, contact port and sign 123.77. Good night.
23775, Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet. Thank you very much for your professional service. Have a good night. Bye bye. Portland Tower, good evening. Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet. Final 28 right.
Charlie Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet Portland Tower, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind 310 at 10.
Clear to lane 28 right. Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet. Thank you. It's not even worth it to do nothing here. Let's just do visual.
Autopilot.
Okay, autopilot off. Let's just do visual here.
Altitude, altitude.
We don't need to activate nothing, but it's always good to activate on the GPS, at least if you have to shoot the mist, makes it a little bit easier for us. And we want to vacate this to the left as soon as possible. It's close to the threshold here at 28 right.
Alaska 55, contact departure 124.35.
For departure 124.35, last 55.
Portland Tower, Cessna 2112 Alpha, report to the north and bound to land.
Cessna 2110 Alpha, Portland Tower, enter a left, or actually, what runway are you looking to land?
900.
Preferably 28 right, Cessna 12.
Roger, Cessna 10 Alpha, squawk 2143.
2143, Cessna 12 Alpha.
Cessna 10 Alpha, you said 28 right, correct?
Affirm, Cessna 12 Alpha.
Roger, Cessna 10 Alpha, enter a left base for runway 28 right.
Left base 28 right, Cessna 12 Alpha.
Yeah, that screwed me up a little bit.
600. 500. 400. 300. minimum, minimum.
It's continue. We're laning.
200.
Continue.
One hundred.
Reversers. And we have a confirmation that it got deployed. Max 30 seconds. We don't even need that. Let's just slow down here.
Charlie Golf Oscar, Foxtrot Juliet, left one able, safe parking.
Left one able, and we're gonna be parking by the U.S. Customs there at the GA terminal.
Roger, Charlie, the Fokker 0, Foxtrot Juliet, taxi via Alpha Whiskey.
0 via Alpha Whiskey for Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet. Thank you very much.
Alaska 211, Portland Tower, IFR to Seattle.
Alaska 211, stand by. Are you able to take a, I'm going to send you a right away.
Okay, real quick.
Okay. Unable. We're splaying Alpha today. Training purposes.
Alright, Alaska 211 cleared to the Seattle International Airport via the Portland departure, radar vectors battleground that is solved. Maintain 6,000, expect flight level 2005 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.35, squawk
Okay.
377.
Thrust reversers are stalled.
Alright, Portland 1, then it's
I'm gonna
off.
turn the
Radar
the
vectors
dome
battleground,
light on here.
37.
Slats and flaps we cleaned. Anti-ice we didn't
Alaska
need.
211, reback correct, expect runway 28 left for departure, call me ready for push.
Windshield off.
Yes, we'll call you for push in Westwick.
Pitot heat off. Important one.
28 left.
Ours is the next one. The whiskey one.
Entered runway 10 left.
Yeah, we're not entering nothing. Members tied. And we can see Buzz is tied. Start selector ground start. APU and APU bleed, we're not going to be running APU. External lights we have set. Taxi light is on, air brake is 0. And ATC and everything else. And we set the, and we set the trim for takeoff, the step trim for takeoff for our next adventure. Weather radar can go off. We didn't use today. Look at this shot of the moon. That's just beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it on just because I don't want to turn the instrument panel, the lights on. It's gonna be much brighter than this. Really nice flight. So I have absolutely no idea where parking 0 is, but we can go to Atlantic there. That's what I think the center approach was saying, Atlantic Aviation. So we're just gonna park here. I'm sure there's no one else coming to the GA apron. There you go. I'm gonna close this. We don't need this right now. Okay, so for engine shutdown.
Cessna 1 Zulu Alpha.
Parking brake intermediate, not intermediate, not the emergency one. Yeah, but there's just one small issue here. My pedals, yeah. Let's see if I can park this. It's because of the pedals. Okay. Dome light switch, we have it on right now. GPS can go off. The GPS will go off with the avionics. Weather radar off. Avionics master, but we don't want to turn avionics master off right now because we have ATC. I'm just gonna call it and disconnect. In Portland Tower, Golf Oscar Foxtrot Juliet is on the blocks here by Atlantics, by the GA FBO. Thank you very much for your service, and please have a good night. See you next time.
You too. Thanks for flying.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna be setting this to standby. Radios, everything now is good. We don't need anything anymore.
Cessna 1 Zulu Alpha, stay parking.
Avionics master goes off. TCAS is going off. Standby pump off. Standby horizon caged. For heat and switches. So let's turn these switches off. These are very tricky to operate. Engine computers off. Transfer pumps off. Actually, it's I missed the most important step, actually, engines off. Oh, transfer off. Boost pumps off. Inverters off. Exterior lights, so we cannot turn this off. Oh, we should actually leave this taxi lights off. Anti-collision goes off. Nav goes off. No smoking seatbelts off. Tax oxygen we don't have to worry about. APU we're gonna keep it off. Main bus tie switch flight normal because we're done. Emergency exit and cabin lights now, let's pretend that we all left, can go off. C&D bus off. Batteries, we don't need to check. Generators and batteries off. We can come here and request for chocks, so we don't have to worry about parking brakes. Oh, there's a blue one inside there. So this is it. That horrible spot there. We're done. First flight on a Falcon. We've made it. I do hope you guys enjoyed. It wasn't the greatest flying demonstration. Like I said at the beginning, I've flown this plane twice, back to back, and that was like 3 weeks ago. So yeah, it took it takes a little bit to get in the groove here and know the plane really well. But I hope you enjoyed. It was pretty fun for me, at least. I really enjoyed, and I hope you did too. So for the next flight, oh wow, that was a perfect stopping here on the yellow, the yellow line. Look at that, center and everything, no marshal or nothing. Yeah. So and the amazing PBR is just blows my mind. The attention to details and fingerprints and everything on the on the on the on the on the body there. Just amazing. Anyways, from here we're gonna be going somewhere else, but we'll definitely be departing Portland for our next leg, and so it started our American tour, not North American anymore only. There's gonna be a North America, Central America, South America, everything, all the Americas tour. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you you had a good time. And thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching, even if you're not watching the stream live. If you have any comments, concerns, anything, please leave a message at the comment section there. I'll be more than happy to read and reply. In the meantime, thank you so much once again. I hope you have a good rest of the day, evening, or a good night, week or weekend, depending on when you're watching, and I'll hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.